This is a video I made when I was being unlawfully evicted from the Mousetrap, Roach Motel, and Bedbug Inn in Dayton, Ohio. I guess it's important to give some background to what's going on. Um, the bottom line there is a slumlord epidemic in Dayton, Ohio, and most likely across the nation. But I'm just going to deal with what's going on where I live. After the VA and the St. Vincent de Paul people and the Attorney General for the state let me get them evicted in spite of CFR 24 CFR 983.383. The VA Hudash people finally put me in a place where it was beautiful. I mean, 2 years ago when I moved in here, the landlord showed up here and I had cleaned up the parking lot back here. There's ivy that had overgrown the parking lot, and you couldn't get in here without driving over it, So I cleaned that stuff up on my own. And when the landlord showed up, they were like, "Wow, there's a wall there? Yeah, there's a 2-foot block wall, a rock wall that goes across the back of the parking lot." They didn't even know this. I cleaned that whole area and trimmed the trees and everything. And they showed up and they're like, "Wow, who did this?" And I'm like, "I did." They're like, "Why?" I said, "Because I live here. When I pull in, I gotta look at this stuff. I care about, the way things look where I live." But anyways, out of that, they like me so much that they decided to start renting to nothing but veterans. And there's been a couple of rifts along the way that they're both, she's retired or something. She quit the Dayton Police Department, and he's still an active detective. And a couple of times he's come over here, 3 times now, where I had to throw him out because he's just so aggressive, I mean, in my opinion, he's dangerous. He just had a cervical discectomy infusion like I had, and also it went right back to work. And 2 months later, he's got a 6-pack you could bounce rocks off of. That didn't happen naturally. I've caught him lying to me, and even though I caught him lying to me about something huge, I have defended it to all these other veterans who say that there's slumlords and all this stuff. And up until a week ago, I would have fought for these people, And then they come to my door when I moved out of one apartment into another over this past summer. Yeah, I might get a time messed up. I'm kind of disoriented right now over all that's going on. But they have an exterminator that comes once a month and treats for roaches and bathes the outside for mice. Well, when I was cleaning up my apartment to move over here, I moved the refrigerator, and at least 50 roaches fell out from underneath the refrigerator because it's warm under there, and the exterminator hadn't been treating under there. And I had to throw away a brand new mattress and box spring. I wouldn't bring it in this apartment, and I needed to stop spraying because it was going to interfere interfere with the chemicals he was using. Thankfully, I didn't take his advice, because if I had stopped spraying this apartment, it would have been full-on bedbug infestation, like it was in the apartment next door that they just treated and charged the veteran over $500. So when they discovered him over there, um, I was hesitant to tell them, because I already seen how they reacted before. They were blaming the cockroaches over there on me. Oh, well, I've been in there for a year. I didn't bring the cockroaches with me. My stuff came out of storage in the middle of winter, and nobody ever saw any roaches for a year until they started packing up everything next door in that apartment. And I noticed that they were coming from underneath the kitchen sink, because there's a big hole between the apartments where you can almost see into the other apartment. And I witnessed two of them come right under my front door, go right to my foot, and one of them, by the time I reached for the bug spray and killed him, he was already attached and sucking blood out of me. So the landlord, they were acting funky, and anyway, they were sneaking around, avoiding me, waiting for the bug guy to show up so they could gang up on me with 3 people, because they already had a plan. And the bug guy never showed up, so they finally asked me to come down to this apartment they were cleaning out, and started telling me, that the bug guy says that they can't travel from apartment to apartment. They don't travel from apartment to apartment. And I explained that I'd already looked it up on the EPA website, and they say that's one of the things that you need to take precaution for, is the migration. And she said, I don't give a damn about the law. This is a police officer, retired or whatever the circumstance for no longer being a police officer. She said she don't give a damn about the law. So she went right into we'll put you on a payment program. They want me to pay for this heat treatment. I've got a room. This room's completely wall to wall with electronics. I'm a musician, and I already know all there is that you can find about heat treatment and the available information for the public. So I wasn't going to be forced onto a payment plan for something I didn't want and I didn't cause. So I came down here and printed out all the information that I saw about heat treatment and all the stuff from the EPA, and I went out this front door and said, here, this is the stuff about migration of the bugs and the proper treatment. You're not supposed to do one apartment at a time. You're supposed to do the whole building, and you're supposed to come back in 2 weeks. They haven't done that. They won't do that for either apartment. So, and the bug guy said that was incorrect. He's a teenage kid working for a business that probably doesn't have any licensing or anything, because they're refusing to give me the documentation. He told me that doesn't happen, and the landlord refused to even listen to it. Wouldn't even look at the paperwork. So I came back in the house, and somebody came to the door. I know it was them. It was the husband, and he's pounding on the door. I mean, pounding on the door. And I asked, who is it? And they refused to identify themselves. And it happened again about 10 minutes later, maybe 5. And then the third time, I was standing right at the door, and I could hear whispering and people getting in position. And I opened the door, and the husband is standing there screaming at me. I mean, just roid rage is what always trying to provoke me to step outside aggressively. I can see the posturing of everyone, and even the guy next door who has guns over there. He's 76 years old, I think, dying of cancer, and he's told everybody he wouldn't mind shooting somebody with that gun. He's standing around the corner. So I slammed the door, just told him to get the hell out of here. So I've spent 4 days now on the phone trying to. I've called the EPA and the Cleveland and Columbus office of HUD. All I'm asking for is information, because I don't know all the laws, and the director in Columbus, nobody called me back in 3 days. The EPA guy finally told me, listen, there are no laws. You're not going to find them, because there's only one law in Ohio, and it pertains to hotels. So, I'm dealing with the HUD people, the HUD badge people. I've already been through 2 evictions, unlawful evictions that they were well aware of, and they let me get evicted. So, with the Office of Strategic Initiative and all that stuff, and the way that they are acting and treated me in the past, I don't trust anybody, y'all. I'm probably going to get evicted into the street again.
And I did.
If they don't kill me. You may think that's crazy, but if you do, you're not paying attention. And I have a great relationship with my current social worker in the HUD badge program at the VA. But the problem with that is she doesn't know any of these rules or laws. And that's alarming. But it's typical. Because they don't want anybody to see that there is no protection for we the people. So, I'm sitting here with no food, no way to get anywhere or do anything, because I've spent several $100s trying to keep these bugs at bay. One of the guys that paid them over $500, I made him pay $500 for the bug treatment and for the bedbug treatment. He told me that he asked the bug guy if it was possible that he was taking them from apartment to apartment, and he said no, that's impossible. So these people are fucking nuts. Excuse my language. But I was there for 3 days, right? Cherry. Yeah, that's the neighbor who asked the bug guy if they could go from apartment to apartment. Now I'll call him back, because he's helping me out a little bit. But he doesn't want to get involved. He doesn't know the rules and all that stuff. And, I can't blame him. I can't blame my caseworker. She's only doing the best that she can do.
Bullshit.
The guy next door,
they have a duty.
They attempted to break his car. He has a key. It's one of the top ones on the car theft list, according to the police. And he finally got it back. And the other night, night before last, no, it was yesterday. Yeah, night before last. I was walking towards the door to take the dog out, and his alarm went off, and I was out there within seconds, and there was nobody there, because they knew they had already chased the place out. They knew about the cameras that don't work, the security cameras that stopped working, and the landlord said they were going to replace them. They knew that they already broke in the car, got the key fob out of the console that was in the console because of the heat treatment. And now they got his key fob, and they ran away from our door so we couldn't see them when we opened our doors. And I was was out there for 5 hours helping this guy who has a gun, who was probably outside helping them when they were screaming at my door the third time. And I would help him. I took the battery out of his car. I helped him with the police. I'm not the bad guy in this situation by any means, but I won't be painted that way. But I'm not also drawing the line on what I'm willing to accept. And nothing I see is acceptable at this point. When the municipal courts started throwing families and veterans into the street during the beginning of the national pandemic, that tells you all you really need to know, doesn't it?
Yep.
And that happened to me twice. Because when I got evicted out of one place and got onto the HUD badge program, I got evicted of the next place. That's how I ended up here. And like I said, these people, I would have defended these people no matter what. I was defending them. These two landlords, the landlord here, And so this isn't about, the police department or anything like that.
Well, it ends up being that because they fucking covered the detectives' behavior.
Beyond ridiculous, Who do I call? Who can I trust?
No one.
Tell me in the comments who you think I can trust.
No one.
After all this, I've been on the phone for 3 days, getting originally hung up on by the EPA, and I finally got someone else to listen, and he had the right information. I've been hung up in the middle of conversations with several times with the HUD people, and I'm not just going to bow down and accept this stuff and pay for this treatment. I'm not going to let them come in. I'm stuck right here. I can't even pack my stuff up and do anything. I have to unpack the stuff. My washer's been going 24 hours a day since this started. And now I got to go back through the bags that I sealed up and get some clothes out so I can take a shower. I mean, I have no gasoline. I can't go. I can't even go to a food bank. I can't do nothing. So there it is. That's the reality of what's happening right here.
And nothing's changed.
To do with race.
It's going to fucking change.
Have any protections for these people. If they're telling you you do, you probably should do some research and see what kind of real protection they have in housing and all that stuff, because there is none.
There has to be, and it's going to change.
The Ohio revised code.
It's the last fucking thing I do.
Ohio has is if you're a motel owner. If you think back when the pandemic first started, Mike DeWine, Trump's endorsement for governor, he never did do anything to protect the Ohio people from the unlawful evictions.
Yep, and nothing's being done now.
He did nothing for the Ohio people, just like the people downtown. They did nothing. I went down there to try to conduct business, protect myself from that eviction, and there was no one downtown except for parking. There's nobody on the streets down there. You got parking enforcement and the police going around town. All the municipal buildings, all the businesses where consumers can conduct business were closed. But the municipal court were turning Ohioans into homeless statistics.
Just like they are today. That's right.
I'm on Rod Roberts, Becky Rose, and Kerry Coons, Bedbug coordinator, to look right at me. remember when I moved in over here in February of 2021, you guys were so impressed at my honesty, my charity, that you started renting to veterans exclusively. You do your work, not mine. And when you showed up here and you saw that the parking lot that used to be completely covered with ivy had been cleaned off, and you were like, "Who did this?" And I said, "I did." And you were like, "Why?" I'm like, "Because I live here, and I gotta look at that when I get home." And you're like, "Wow, there's a wall back there." Yeah, there's a wall back there that you never would have seen for a long time if I had to clean it up. I cleaned the trees up over here, and you threw me some money here and there, you know. But and you like to throw that in my face. You like to throw the pickup truck. I had a pickup truck that I'd already replaced everything underneath the drivetrain and everything. The motor was nice. The only thing it didn't have was nice paint or an interior. I mean, there was no dash. The only thing I had was gauges in it. But, you know, I could have bought that stuff. That truck was a 92 GMC. It was cheap. I could buy parts for like $5. The brake lines that I paid almost $1,000 and had to do the work myself. Took me what, 6 weeks to do the brakes on my truck because there's 80-some foot of brake line under there. 2 lines to every wheel. Anyway, that truck ended up just think about what I had to pay for that at some repair shop. I don't even want to know what it was. But anyways, you guys throw money here and there a little bit, but and when you were out here stealing my shed, you were what do they call it? Projecting, your social justice warrior nonsense. Oh yeah, well we gave you $10,000. Okay, well I've been here 3 years. Okay, the Public Housing Authority has my banking information, and and they are aware of some of the stuff that I did. You said this email you sent me. I mean, you are just incapable of telling the truth. But anyway, you're blaming me for the bed bugs and cockroaches, and you got an exterminator you pay every month, and it's my fault. Okay, I get it. When I moved out of the other apartment over there and moved the refrigerator to clean, about 40 or 50 roaches fell out from underneath the refrigerator because your exterminator isn't smart enough to spray to move the refrigerator. He could have moved it at any time and knocked all them out there and saw they were there. But I sprayed and got rid of them and tried to clean up as good as I could. You were bitching and moaning and crying about the so you're complaining about the cleanup and a little bit of a mess I left over there. And you knew I was had to sit here waiting for these gas people and light people to show up. Even though there's no gas over here, I had to be here for the shut off over there, and then wanted to inspect and make sure there was no gas over here. You know all of this, and moving all my stuff over here, doing the getting rid of the bugs, and I cleaned it up the best as I could. And when you were over here, blaming me, crying about that place over there, and Rod was bitching about the glue on the floor here that the construction people threw duct tape from a package that they received on the floor. That wasn't mine. That the hole over there on the floor, that's not mine. Every inch of the walls in here has the bristles out of the paintbrushes in every bit of the paint here. And it's thin paint, and if you even look at it, it gets a fingerprint on it, And you were yelling about the smoking in these apartments, and the nicotine was on the walls over there. And I'm sure you're going to try to do the same thing about this apartment because, I'm going to try to clean this up. I don't owe you shit the way you guys have done me. So I'm going to try to clean this up as I move out of here and become homeless because of you. And because I do the right thing all the time. You said that yourself. So, you listen to how this is from the email that Becky sent me. She's such a piece of crap. Here you go. So, that's for our agreement for you to complete minor.
I'm not going to go through all this again. These people,
immediately.
They are scum of the earth.
Okay, well, let's look at this with you, as you clearly do not care about the goals.
Yeah, I don't care about your goals of ripping everyone off. All these veterans that I made you pay back their $500 you stole from them. That your police chief covered up and all that shit. Internal affairs. Crooked ass fucking police department here in Dayton, Ohio. Yeah, I said it. Because that's what's going on. That's what happened.